I was just doing a meditation, and then I made some breakfast. And I was just wanting some stillness, just quiet. I dropped off the girls at camp and came home, had a little bit of time. And what came through was, hey, what do you think would happen if you stop putting so much pressure on yourself? What do you think would happen if that literally never-ending to-do list that will always be there, if you stop measuring even your productivity and everything around getting something ticked off of the to-do list? It was like, what if you actually just allowed yourself to just be? Meaning, it might be the Virgo in me, but there's always like the next thing to do. And I know that people talk about this, especially like creatives who create and probably make a living off of their art, their work, that like it's hard for them to sit with the accomplishment of something once it's completed. They're like, okay, on to the next thing, on to the next adventure, on to the next challenge, whatever it is. And I really feel like, first of all, I feel like that life for me is inevitable. I'm a creative person. I'm going to share my work and my art, and it's going to be received into the world in whatever way it is. You know what I mean? And I feel like this period of time in my life right now, it's like, it feels kind of like a liminal space between the two worlds of my life before I decided to actually create my dreams, like make them a reality in my life, and be honest with myself about what they are, And then when I'm actually experiencing the life of, this is what I do for my work, this is what I do for my living, this is what I get to do and create and collaborate and like actually put these projects out in the world in a big way on a kind of scaled audience. And I actually really love this space to create in, where like nobody's watching my shit right now. Like literally I can post almost anything and maybe a handful of people see it, maybe one person interacts with it. And for me as a creative, that's the safest place that I could create from, because I'm like, okay, cool. Like, nobody's really here watching. I get to really play with like what I want to create, what I want to share, how I want to share it, what it feels like when I put that out there available to the world. And it feels like a season where I get to practice playing with those edges with myself and doing it for me and only for me, and not performing for anybody or anything, right? That feels really good. But still there's this like always constant to-do list because of all the hats that I wear and all the things that there are to do and all the ways that I do want to show up. This is sand from the ocean, by the way. I went to San Diego and I just got it as like something that's really beautiful and also kind of like just symbolic of the ocean. And just kind of like a sensory thing for me or for the girls whenever we need to just like kind of ground back into the moment and feel something tangible with our hands. Really cool. There's so much that I aspire to do, that I want to create, and like just want to do it. Like, I just want to create all the things inside me that want to be birthed. And it's so hard to like, it's so hard to get the needle moving on anything. But the invitation was like, hey, what if you're actually doing the best that you can? What if you actually are already giving all that you have to give? And what if that's enough? What if you actually stopped resisting yourself as if you're inadequate, as if you are disappointed, as if you're disappointed with the fact that you haven't finished so many projects that you want to do. What if this present moment with your daughters and coloring your hair tonight and going to Backyard Taco for dinner and cleaning the room and putting away the laundry and being present there? What if that is the only thing required of you today? What if that's enough? My alarm went off, which was really good timing, actually. What if when you go to sleep, you don't feel like you're behind? What if you don't take on the weight of the 17 other things that you wanted to get done before you get to go to sleep? What if when you woke up, you didn't immediately take on all the weight and the pressure of the things that you want to do today, that you should be doing? What if the ways that you show up for yourself, even though there's always room for improvement, what if you didn't make yourself feel guilty for not doing the best that you know to do? What if you honored not just your capacity, but your willingness and your effort and your physical and emotional and mental and spiritual limits? What if time actually isn't the enemy? What if it's an invitation to compassion and titration, slowly taking steps towards the thing, because perhaps if I created everything that I wanted to create right now, and if I did everything that I'm trying to do today, right now, perhaps my body, my heart, my soul, my nervous system wouldn't have a chance to integrate all of it and wouldn't have the capacity to hold it. Perhaps my life and being fully grounded, especially in motherhood, and the way that sometimes feels like it makes everything else that I'm trying to do drag in its productivity and or efficiency. What if, first of all, that life is actually the true gift? And what if that dragging motion is actually benevolence? It's actually quite kind to require me to do this at a pace that all of me can handle and have the capacity for. What if I could actually just breathe in the moment and know that whatever I'm doing right now, I know I'm doing my best, because that's what I do. And that's enough. And I stop resisting with guilt or shame or shoulds or pressure of, you missed the mark, you didn't get that done, you know you should have started this a long time ago. What if I stopped picking up those thoughts when they come across, and I just notice them and let them float away? Because it's heavy. And the invitation was to, what if you stopped resisting what you're already doing? What if you stopped putting pressure on yourself and feeling guilty for not doing everything that you want to accomplish right now, in this moment, in this day? What if you surrendering to your life as it is unlocks a true gift of presence and surrender, but also would allow for a freer flow of the things that I'm actually trying to accomplish tangibly? Because if I'm being honest, the weight of the guilt that I feel, and it's small little pieces of guilt, but it's 100 different ways each day. Like, damn, I was supposed to do that. What if you asked for help? What if you weren't meant to, in fact, didn't have to carry everything by yourself? But I think we can start here. What if you're already doing enough? What if you're doing your best and that's enough? I'm gonna sit with that for a minute.